Unbelievably dope story here to talk to you guys about. Now, Bernie Sanders, as we've all said, we really want him to be the candidate from the Democratic primary, because we want him to run to win, because we think that he can win the presidency. So what we have as a report here is that Sanders had gathered advisors to discuss a 2020 run. Now, here's what The Hill says. They say, Senator Bernie Sanders gathered several of his top political advisors in Washington this past weekend to discuss the possibility of running for president again in 2020. Sanders was a big underdog to Hillary Clinton, narrowly losing the nomination. It goes on. Here's what it says. It says, according to the report, the meeting included Sanders' wife, Jane Sanders, as well as former Ohio State Senator Nina Turner, 2016 campaign manager Jeff Weaver, Democratic strategist Mark Longabaugh, and Julian Mulvey, pollster Ben Tolchin, online fundraiser Tim Tagaris, senior Senate advisor Ari Rabin-Haft, political advisor Chuck Rocha, and former communications aide Ariana Jones. So not all those names are familiar to me. The ones that are familiar, however, are, of course, his wife, Senator Nina Turner, Jeff Weaver. Those are the ones that are going to be familiar to most of us, that we've already heard of. It says advisors also discussed how to run against President Trump if Sanders won the Democratic primary. Trump has reportedly said he thinks he could beat Sanders in a matchup, although a recent poll on possible 2020 candidates shows Sanders, former Vice President Biden, and media mogul Oprah Winfrey all leading Trump in a head-on-head matchup. So it goes more into detail, the story. You can read the story on Politico, but basically it talks about how Bernie Sanders was discussing our 2020 run with his advisors, and essentially they were telling him, like, you should run. They were really urging him to run because they said, basically, you're going to be the front runner if you win. You're the most popular candidate in the country, and you're an active politician. You've been on the front lines of defending Obamacare and many other things, and you've been a really big-time Democrat. And your only hurdle in the last election was name recognition. There's no one in the country that doesn't know who Bernie Sanders is anymore. Anyone who pays any attention to politics or who's going to vote. There's no one who doesn't know who Bernie Sanders is, who Bernard Sanders is. And so basically, he's jumped that hurdle. And if he got, I think he won something like 23 states or something, or 21. Like, dude, my dude got close, man. And, unfortunately, he didn't do very well with the African-American vote, and those states came first. So he didn't do very well with that for some reason. And that's where I blame the voters. I think that it was their fault. But I really, really hope that he runs again. I will be extremely ecstatic, and will be covering the election massively, and it will be a ton of fun if he does run in 2020. I think that he will win in practically a landslide. We might see some kind of a landslide happening, because he's the most popular politician in the country, and he's just an overall beast. And I'm going to be talking about some more polling data later on, but this is a really great story, and we need to continue to try to push Bernie Sanders to run for president. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below, leave a like and share the video, help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.